Hey, what's up, you guys? Fans Reviews here with our latest review, with a comic book review of Nemesis issue 4. Now, this is sort of a bittersweet thing for me because issue 4 is the last issue of Nemesis, and I just am so in love with the series, and I don't want it to end. But it makes me twice as excited for the sequel that will be coming out next year. I'm not saying that Nemesis himself will return. I'm not trying to spoil anything here, but Nemesis as a series is returning next year, and as told by the last couple pages, it will be returning, and I am ecstatic for that. Anyway, let's get into the review of this issue. Now, this issue picks up right where the last one left off, fairly a lot more quickly than I expected, actually, and it's almost seamless. The third issue and this issue could almost be one comic book, but we got to split things apart here, of course. So it picks up with Morrow going into the Oval Office where his wife and the president have bombs strapped to their chest. Now, Nemesis gives him a choice. Either he detonates his wife or he detonates the president. And not to spoil what ends up happening there, but that event leads into the battle between Morrow and Nemesis that we've been anticipating through the whole entire series. And just to say it, the battle does not disappoint by any means. It's what we expected. It's as bloody, well choreographed as we expected. And again, this all goes to McNiven's wonderful art, his wonderful panels. To me, he gives some of the best action sequences, panels on the market. Just to say this, though, this is not a quibble by any means, but the battle between Morrow and Nemesis in this is not quite as epic as the battle in one of the previous issues where Nemesis fights 25 or so guards. And that's, you can't really help that, though, because in that, he fights so many guys, juxtaposed to this, where it's just two men facing off. Now, if you're a huge comic book fan or just you want to be entertained in general, you really owe it to yourself to read Nemesis as a series, and especially issue 4, because it wraps everything up in a very clever manner and nice way. But I understand a lot of the animosity that fanboys have toward Mark Miller, especially with the Wanted. I can understand why you would jump off the boat at that point. I'm not a fan of that comic book at all. But I cannot help it with comic books like Nemesis, with Kick-Ass. You were just entertained page per page. Certain comic books are good for a compelling, very rich experience, but this is rich in its own right, and it's just nice to be entertained page per page, and just all the way through sometimes, and just to have a guilty pleasure. So again, like I said, if you're a huge fan of comic books or you just like to be entertained in general, you really owe it to yourself to pick up Nemesis issue 4 or just Nemesis as a series in a whole. Nemesis gets its more than deserved 4 out of 4 stars. This has been a Fans Reviews. Tune in for more reviews of movies, toys, and games and comics coming up very soon. Have a great break, guys.